Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Super Duper Cool Podcast, where we dig into problems that the average citizen experiences. Today, Elliot and I are going to look at the Quebec school system. If you didn't know already, I have a daughter in 5th grade, and I'm looking for the best high school for her, so let's figure that out together.
That's right. Now, none of us are experts on the subject, but we did some research. Well, I did. Hopefully you did too, Samuel.
Don't worry, I did my homework. Now for a little bit of context, we both come from different school backgrounds. I went to a private high school, while you went to a special program public school. So none of us experienced the typical public school, and we wanted to know if it was as bad as we heard.
Then, let's get started. Quebec's education system is a three-tier system composed of public, selective public, that is also called special program like sport études, hors études, and the international program, and private school. The issue isn't that there are three types. It's how different the experience is depending on which type of school you attend.
According to an article from Anne Plourde, 56% of students are attending a public school, while 23% of them are entering special programs and 21% in private school. But here's a twist. Despite public schools serving obviously most students, private schools are receiving 60% of the education budget from the government.
Yeah, this is crazy. No wonder that a lot of students went from public elementary school to private or special program high school. Government subvention make private school accessible even to the middle class. Special program school, even if they're public, are reserved for higher achieving students and usually requires fees to attend the school.
So there are inequalities within the public system?
Yes, regular public school often end up with higher proportion of students from lower income families, kids with learning difficulties, and a lot of newcomers who may not speak French very well.
And there's a lack of support and of specialists to help these kids. From what I saw in the Journal of Québec, in 2022 there were 500 empty spots for professionals other than teachers in public schools.
This is not as shocking as what I'm going to show you. Check this out. Isabelle Plante, a teacher at UQAM, said that only 67% of public school students graduate high school, while in Ontario, it's 87% of public students.
That's a massive difference, and I'm guessing private schools are doing way better.
Indeed, 90% of private school students graduate high school. But here's where it gets wild. Pierre Canisius Camazi, a teacher at the Faculty of Education at the University of Montreal, published a study that only 15% of students coming from public school make it to university, while the number is 4 times higher for students that went to private school. These numbers are absolutely insane.
Then, if your parents want their children to go to university, it feels like you must go private. That seems messed up.
Yes, it is. This is the reason why we are doing this episode, no?
Yeah.
But seriously, the problem is so big that in 2020, the United Nations Committee on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights asked the government of Quebec to ensure that all students have an equal access to education in the three-tier school system, whatever the financial situation of their parent is.
It's serious when the United Nations is getting involved. But that reminds me of an article I read recently about Australian experts Tom Greenwell and Chris Bono, saying that Quebec's education system is not a good example to follow. It's 2 researchers from Australia that came to Canada for about 10 days, and they learned about the different education system of our provinces. They found Ontario's model to be very inspiring, but stated that Quebec's model is an example to never follow. They had the same problem as in Australia. We had the same problem as they had in Australia. The segregation of students in the different tiers of the education system.
We should listen to their advice and try to make some change for the better. There are already some good options that we could use to make a better school system. Ontario model is a really good one. Public schools are truly public, free for everyone, and private schools don't receive any funding from the government. There's also the project L'école Ensemble, which was developed by the party Québec Solidaire. The goal of this project is to bring all private and public schools together in a common network that will be free and accessible for all students across Quebec.
That would be amazing. Then, in the end, Even though there are some improvements that have been made, the impact of the three-tier system is still big on students. Private school is a huge advantage, not just to gifted students, but also to kids who struggle because in public schools, teachers are overstretched and overwhelmed by the number of children, and they're under-resourced, which affects how much support each student gets.
Students are more likely to succeed in private or special program school. And while there's always exceptions like super smart kids who excel anywhere, most students just perform better when they get the help they need. So for most parents out there, private or special program school are the best option. That is, if you can afford them.
This is just general advice. Parents should look at their local public schools first to see what they have to offer. It's not all doom and gloom. What matters most is finding the right fit for your child.
Speaking of which, Samuel, what school are you going to choose for your daughter?
I'm going to look with her what school could interest her. Just a reminder to talk with your children about their future school. Their opinions are important in this choice because it's about their future. Just tell them the options that are on the table and look at them together.
Now this is the end of today's Super Duper Cool episode. Next time, we're going into a deep philosophical question. Which is better, bagged or bottled milk? And what are the best cookies to go with it?
Oh, you sure don't want to miss that one.